No titles.
No, we were very lucky. We were we actually kind of low key. Like there wasn't too much traffic. I think everyone rescheduled their meetings early and we were free to go for it. But we got pretty quick and there wasn't too much traffic. So we were able to make it without having any trouble.
That's
Yes,
good.
you wrote?
Well,
Okay, a little funky. diggy die, diggy die, 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 Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Please take a moment to wish somebody near you, someone you haven't seen in a while, someone you're excited to see, a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to those we're watching online.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're delighted to have you. We're delighted to be here, to be together, to celebrate Shabbat, to take a pause, to put the worries of the week behind us, even just for a brief moment, and to enjoy our time together. We're going to start with our candle lighting, which can be found on pages 120 and 121. I would like to invite up Jerry to help me with my candle lighting this evening. And I would like to invite everybody else, once they reach the page, to rise. All right, so I'm going to read here.
O source?
Mm-hmm.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. So you want to just take this little part out.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we're just going to take out the little part.
That, of course, is on Living TV.
It's still good, it's still good. Just going to gently light the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai
Go back down.
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with the mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the light of Sabbath.
Amen.
Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Spreading a little extra light and excitement into our Shabbat service. We continue now on the top of page 124, and you may be seated as we continue our prayer service. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numerous generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity.
Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, and flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Certainly a wonderful sentiment. As we continue with the song and prayer Lecha Dodi, which can be found on pages 138 and 139, tonight we'll be singing verses 1, 5, and 9. And when we reach verse 9, we will all rise together as we welcome the Sabbath bride.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Shabbat nekavela, Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el Hamai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem Tiferet v'litchila. Lecha, lecha, dodi. Shabbat nekavela, hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alaich nigla. Lecha, lecha, dodi. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela.
We now turn to page 144 as our cantor chants our Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בלמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב אמרו,
Amen.
יהי
Shemei Rabba Mevorach,
Le'olam olam be'amaya.
Yitbarach.
Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitbar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yit'ale ve'yithalal Shemei Dekudsha
B'rihu.
Leila min kol berchata ve'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'immeru.
Amen. We now turn to our call to worship, our Baruch Hu prayer found on page 146. We rise together as we sing out in one voice to the divine.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Please be seated. We turn now to page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim. We continue together in the English on the same page. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Amari v'Ravi.
Amen. We continue now expressing our everlasting love and the everlasting love that is expressed to us on page 150 with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadta En Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu u'v'kumeinu Nasiach b'chukacha V'nismach b'divrei Toratcha U'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla ve'avatecha tasir mimanu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Amen. We continue now with our Shema, our declaration of oneness of one God and our togetherness. Pages 152 and 153. Please rise as we sing out together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
We continue together with the chanting of Ve'ahavta on page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'beitecha u'vlechtecha v'derech u'shochmecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. For the English, what we'll do, because the Shema prayer and the Ve'ahavta prayer are actually connected in the same prayer, is we'll go back on page 152 and 153, read the words in English of the Shema, and continue with the English on page 154. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Page 156. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we, Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs of wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously with our Mi Chamocha on page 158. Ze'eli, Ze'eli, Anu ve'amru, Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. Yam ba ba bim bim ba, yam ba ba bim ba, yam ba bim bim ba, yam ba bim ba. Ay 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 ay, yam ba bim ba. Ay 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 ay, yam ba bim ba. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Amen. We read the first paragraph in English on page 158. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? We continue now on the top of page 161. We read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Now we turn to 162 for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat le'doratam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat le'doratam berit olam. We prepare now for our tefillah, our amidah, our standing prayer, a core part of our worship experience. We begin with our avot ve'imahot, which creates a special and sacred relationship that each of our patriarchs and our matriarchs have with Adonai. We turn then to our Giverot on page 168, which speaks of God's might, God's strength, and our connection to the seasons. And then we turn to page 170 and speak of God's holiness, hopefully inspiring us to follow suit and find holiness through our actions and deeds and words. We rise together as we chant our Hebrew.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol atah Rav leHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach u'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim bechesed, Mechayei HaKol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishanei afar, Michamocha mal gevurot, Umido melech, Melech bemit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Amen.
Please be seated. We turn now to page 175. We look in the middle of the page as we read in the English together. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance, And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. We turn now to page 177. And as we look to our hoda'ah, our modim anachnu lach, our prayer for gratitude and thankfulness, let us consider a moment during the past week that has brought us gratitude. Perhaps a moment of joy and wonder, or perhaps a difficult moment when the community was present and offered solace and support. Either way, this prayer is special and sacred, partially because it causes us to bring forth these moments, to take note of them, to make them an important part of our lives. There's much to be grateful for, even in the midst of hard times. We keep this thought with us as we look to the top of page 177 and we read together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lecha na'eh lehodot. We turn now to our Shalom Rav, our prayer for abundant peace and peace for the people Israel and for all humanity, page 178. We continue now with silent prayer. guide me and be my friend, and together we will walk in the peace of Hashem. May we have many walks together. The next walk we're going to take is one to our Kiddush, which can be found on pages 122 and 123. Another moment of holiness, another moment of praise. I would like to invite up Roberta to help us in the leading of this sacred moment, and invite all who are here, once they reach the page, to rise.
And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemasei v'reishit, ki hu yom tevilah lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki baru bacharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat
Amen.
l'chaim.
We are now going to remain standing because we are going to transition into our Torah service, which can be found on page 362. I would like to invite up Mark to help me with my Torah scroll this evening.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch, le'olam va'ed.
In this scroll is a secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it. We turn the page.
Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hagidura, Ve'Hagibura, Ve'Atiferet, Ve'Hanetzach Ve'Hahon, Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, V'mitnaseh lechol rosh. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al Torah ve'al avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al Torah ve'al avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'shacharu le'ar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'shacharu le'ar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
So tonight, the saga of our people continues. That's right. You heard it here first, or perhaps you studied it in advance and you came here with prior knowledge. Either way, we continue with the journey of Jacob, one of our patriarchs who has quite the journey coming from last week. He had quite the falling out with his brother Esau. And now he's off into the world on a journey. And it's quite the journey for him. Some very exciting things happen to him along the way. For those of you following along, by the way, just so that you can go ahead and turn to the correct page, we are in Genesis chapter 28. We'll be reading verses 16 through 18 in your Chumash. I believe that should be on page 106, but there's also a handout if you would prefer to follow that way. Either way, Jacob then, which we'll talk about more tomorrow morning, then has his own form of deceit and trickery that is laid upon him. You might say, oh, well, he has earned it, and that is what you get. It's karma being paid forward, but maybe not. Maybe it's also one of the many ways in which Jacob learns. And Jacob, like so many of our other matriarchs and patriarchs, is certainly a flawed character. one who therefore makes it easier for us to have a relationship with and relate to as human beings who are not perfect in the same way. Well, not the exact same way, but in some similar ways. Enough rambling. We're going to get on to the actual reading. This is close to the beginning of our parsha, and it's an exciting and beautiful part, and it's actually one, we read so many commandments, but we don't really kind of read about what's it like to encounter God. Sometimes we encounter conversations with God, and certainly we encounter many, you should do this and don't you dare do that, 613 of them. But we don't really get a lot of insight into exactly what those experiences, what our patriarchs and matriarchs might have felt as a result of communicating and connecting with the divine. For our aliyah today, or tonight, I'd like to call for Stephanie. Ta'amot Serlea v'Yonatan la'aliyah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai habarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher. Oh, sorry. Asher natan lan.
It's okay, go.
Okay. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. ויקץ יעקב משנתו ויאמר אכן יש אדוני במקום הזה ואנוכי לא ידעתי וירא ויאמר מה נורא המקום הזה אין זה כי אם בית אלוהים וזה שער השמיים וישכם יעקב בבוקר ויקח את האבן אשר שם מראשותיו וישם אותה מצבה ויצוק שמן על ראשה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
And Yaakov, Jacob, awoke from his sleep, and he said, certainly there was God in this place, and I did not even know it. And he woke up early and in a little bit of fear, and he said, how wonderful this place is. There is none place like this. It is the house of Adonai, the house of God, this place, the gate of the heavens. And then he woke up in the morning early, and he placed the stone that he had put his head on, and he placed it in the form of a pillar, and then he put some oil on the top of it for sanctification. With the Sefer Torah in our midst, our thoughts now turn to those who are in need of healing, whether physical or spiritual. In particular, we keep those in our congregational community at the forefront of our thoughts. Patty Abrams, Steve Abrams, Mike Allen, Joyce and Jim Amato, Marjorie Bernstein, Danielle Bilello, Jean Bleckman, Sean Book, Elizabeth Brooks, Barry Brothers, Ashley Bryant, Corey Bryant, Gilda Barak, Dory Byan, Roberta Cooperman, Susanna Klitsch, Edwin Daniel, Doris Ditto, Dr. Neil, Sharon Eckes, Phyllis Eisenberg, Lenny Eisler, Tom Ellsbury, Janet Falco, Dorothy Farrell, David Freed, Bob Ferguson, Tyrone Gibbons, Dorothy Gilbert, Martin Goldstein, Paul Greenfield, Luis Gutierrez, Jennifer Gonclaves, Thea Gunther, Gina Haft, Sydney Hart, Peter Haynes, Mark Harris, Cameron Jones, Denise Karp, Lee Kaufman, Michael Lakin, Bernie Lazen, Joanne Leopard, Cecile Luschnig, Barbara Maloney, Alyssa Markle, Frank Michelson, Kim Lorenzo, Louis Meister, Neil Meister, Joan Mello, Marvin Migdol, Roberta Miller, Eli Mueller, Gina Muncy, Steve Napolitano, Christine Newman, Hunter O'Leary, Lois Oringer, Mike Pardaman, Stephanie Pluka, Carlos Porras, Sharon Portnoy, Jennifer Ann Riley, Demetrius Regas, Martin Reiger, George Robinson, Ethan Roginski, Lonnie Rosenfeld, Marlene Rosalinsky, Beth Roth, Helene Rothstein, Father Joe Schlafer, Bernie Schwartz, Benjamin Shalhevet, Jerry Saraceni, Jan Silverman, Julie Thompson, George Vassilo, Jill Verbeck, Marvin Wyman, Jenna Weisberg, Bob Weiner, Allison Wexler, Barry and Cynthia Willens, Esther Wilkins, Merrill Williams, Abby Zeltman, and Don Parker. If there are other names or names that I might have inadvertently mispronounced, I invite you to state those names at this time. Yes.
Jessica Flora, Dennis Marie,
Yes, Paul. Yes. 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 Thank you. Yes, Michael. Yes. Yes, Barbara. Yes, Mark. Yes. Those that are watching online, if you would like to add a name, I invite you to do so. We keep these names in our hearts and our thoughts as we look to page 371 in the middle and sing our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. Misha Berach, Avotenu, Victor Abraham, Imotenu, may the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make prepare for Hagbah, our Torah lifting, which, if you want to follow the Hebrew, can be found on page 370 at the bottom. We invite you to rise as we lift and dress our Torah scroll.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yam Moshe. Lai 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 lai
Page 374. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai ki nisgav shemo levado.
Hodo al eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren le'amo tehila lechol chasida libnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
It is a tree of life for those who hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and its paths are peace. Return to you, Adonai, and we will return. Renew our days as of old.
It's Chaim hi l'machazikim ba v'tomecheha meushar d'racheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Please be seated. We pick up our story this week, as I mentioned, as Jacob, shortly after having a falling out with his brother Esau. Falling out, of course, is putting it a bit mildly, since it's shortly after Jacob takes advantage of his brother to get both his father's blessing and birthright. After this dramatic tale of deceit and betrayal, we find Jacob traveling to Haran in search of a wife. Along his journey, he has a dream. Dreams become very important in our literature, in which a stairway or ladder, depending on whose interpretation you follow, appears. Angels run up and down, and at the end of the dream, Jacob encounters God, renews the covenant made with Jacob's ancestors, that his descendants will be more numerous than the grains of dust on the ground. Jacob wakes up and claims, Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh v'anachi lo yadati. Surely God is in this place, and I did not know. Jacob has reached a transitional moment within the story. He is leaving the past behind, in a sense, the poor choices he made, and he's setting off to start a new life. It's understandable that it is in this moment that brings about such a deep encounter. It's a great moment. It causes us to consider not only where is God present, but when is God present. I find myself asking, what awareness does Jacob gain through this experience, this journey? Two Hasidic commentators provide meaningful and interpretive answers. One states that God is within Jacob, who just previously was full of deceit, anger, and fear. However, what Jacob wasn't seeing and realizing until this very moment was that God was present and Jacob's potential for righteousness and sacred acts. Another Hasidic sage claims almost the opposite, that God is only present when Jacob is able to empty his ego, the evil inclinations that seek to separate ourselves. Only then, when we make room and clear out negative potential, can we recognize God's presence and claim, God was here, but I did not know it. Both of these interpretations bring insight into how personal reflection and growth might allow us to connect more deeply with God. Certainly Jacob, who has just deceived his brother, could use a little personal growth, and perhaps realizing his greater role in the covenant helps him to begin to place aside selfish desires and choices. Whatever the reason, the idea that God exists within, whether by letting God in or removing negative inclinations and nurturing our positive potential, it's a take that I love. We all have the potential to be more holy and more kind, less selfish in the choices we make and in the ways that we live our lives. We all have the potential to recognize, to bring forth and make room for the divine present within. And luckily, we don't even have to wait for a special dream with a ladder. It's only our will and our desire to search, to realize, and to grow. May we embrace our divine potential in every way possible, making it possible to repeat Jacob's phrase, surely God is present in this place, in my soul, and I didn't even know it. And perhaps messages could be heard through other means, means we don't even anticipate, coming not from only within, but from the things that we keep close to ourselves. Either way, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to continue now with our Aleinu prayer, but I would like to invite up those who are under the age of 18, if they are willing to come up and help me open the ark for Aleinu, to do so. But no pressure. It's okay if you want to stay in your seat. And we'll invite everybody else to rise as we turn to page 586 and pray at the bottom of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teketu l'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'lei haratzot, v'lo somanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam helkeinu kahem, v'kol aleinu kechol habonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Alright, guys can close the ark. We got it. Good job. Awesome. Thank you. Page 591, we read at the top of the page together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. And may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and the light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
V'nemar v'Adonai l'melech ha'kol ha'aretz bayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. Our congregational community, in particular, is keeping in our hearts and thoughts those of whom we are in a period of Shaloshim of 30 days of mourning: Ethel Didner, Linda Rausch, and Herbert Resnick. In addition, we honor those whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat, which include Louis Abramowitz, Ethel Clark Bate, Murray Berg, Philip Cooper, Frederick S. Erdman, Sally Gerwitz, Feingold, Yetta Feinstein, Belle Fells, Daniel Friedman, Stanley Garfinkel, Harold Gelman, Jason Benjamin Giles, Solomon E. Gittleman, David Gottesman, Mac Greenstein, Fred Havmeyer, Alexander Hochheiser, Jacob Kreisberg, Shulamit Lack, Solomon Landsman, Kalman Lasky, Annette Lavsky, Anita Naomi Leibowitz, Daniel Levy, Deborah Levy, Ruth Lewinson, Robert Litvin, Richard Luckow, Barbara Markowitz, Helen Marks, David Mendick, Dr. Morris Miller, Lillian Milheiser, Sylvia Newfield, Murray Newman, Ida Paskin, Joseph Pearl, Ralph Pizer, Samuel Precker, Joseph Max Rosen, Jenny Ross, Bella Saltz, Jean Schwartzman, Bernard Shapiro, Isidore Tepner, Donald S. Wise, Pearl Willens, Henry Wilson, Alex Winograd, Sheila Wolberg. If there are names to add or names that I might have inadvertently mispronounced, I invite you to do so at this time. If you're watching online and would like to add a name, I invite you to add that at this time as well. We turn now to our Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, on page 598. I invite you to rise if it is your custom to do so as we pray together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yeh shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemeda kudasha barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel and the world, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. I'd now like to invite up our fearless president, Paul Weber, to share some announcements of some wonderful events going on in our congregational community that we hope that you will be a part of.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Tonight's Ordnik is sponsored by the Temple. Our Yankee Candle fundraiser is still going on. This event takes place until January 8th. If interested, please see the Temple Bulletin or look in the flyer in the kiosk in the lobby. If you have any questions, please see Deb Brack at the Onek tonight. Brotherhood is now selling Super Bowl boxes. If interested, please see Steve Sonkin at the Onek tonight. Hanukkah gift shop will begin tonight in the religious school building and continues to Friday, December 20th. Please see the bulletin for dates and times. Children's Hanukkah party will be on Sunday, December 15th from noon to 3 p.m. Please join us for dancing, games, latkes, and jelly donuts. There is no cost this year, but please bring a new unwrapped toy to be donated. Please RSVP to the Temple office. Our Temple Blood Drive will take place on Sunday, December 22nd from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Appointments and walk-ins are always welcome. Our community menorah lighting will take place also on Sunday, December 22nd. Please see the bulletin for time. If you are interested in our adult education classes, please call the Temple office. Classes are in the bulletin calendar. Food cards are available for Stop and Shop and Best Market. If you'd like to purchase or donate them back to the Temple, please see Rich Lindner at the Onek. Next Friday, we have our family service for grade 4, and that's at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Rabbi.
What?
The grade service at the grade 4 family service?
Yes.
That starts at
7:15.
7:15. Yeah. Normal family service starting time. Same family bat time. Same family bat channel. Here, don't miss it. Don't be square. Instead, be Star of David. Yes. All right. So
We're going to
Cancer.
conclude our service on page 664. We can never ask for too much peace, so we're going to end with Haporei Sukkot Shalom.
that sounds good. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai end with a quick concluding blessing. If you'd like to gather together, I encourage you to do so. Just make sure not to leave out anyone on their own, to invite them to be included in your gatherings. Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, grant us peace. Shelter us with your peace and your love, all your people, Israel and humanity. May we find God within ourselves. May we find God around us when we look, when we let God in, when we grow, and when we recognize God's holiness is the spark that is there. We say together, Shabbat Shalom
Shabbat
and
shalom.
Amen. Shalom.